Why'd you take up drinking tea? You're not from England, are you?
No, Californian. Born right here in Los Angeles. I want to ask you something, Mr. Neff.
It's Walter.
Tell me, Walter, on this insurance, how much commission do you make?
About 20%. Why?
I thought I could throw a bit of business your way.
I could use that.
I was thinking about my husband. I worry a lot about him on the oil fields. It's very dangerous.
Not as an executive, is it?
Well, he doesn't just sit behind a desk. He's right down there with the drilling crew. It's got me worried sick.
Oh, one rainy night, a crown block could fall on him and...
Please don't talk like that.
Well, that's the idea.
The other day, a casing line snapped and caught the foreman. He's in the hospital now with a broken back.
That's bad.
It's got me jittery just thinking about it. Suppose something like that happened to my husband.
Well, it could.
Don't you think he ought to have accident insurance?
Uh-huh.
What kind of insurance could he have?
Well, enough to cover the doctors and hospital bills. About $125 a week cash benefit. And he could rate $50,000. Capital sum.
Capital sum, what's that?
If he were to be killed. Shouldn't have said that.
I suppose you have to think of everything in your business.
No. Mr. Dietrichson would understand. I could sell him the idea of accident insurance, and I could talk to him myself.
You could try, but he's pretty tough going.
Well, they're all tough at first.
He's got a lot on his mind. He doesn't want to listen to anything anymore, except maybe a baseball game on the radio. Sometimes we just sit all evening without saying a word to each other.
Sounds pretty dull.
I just sit and knit.
Is that what you married him for?
Maybe I like the way his thumbs hold the wool.
Well, if his thumbs ever get tired.
I wanted to ask you something, Mr. Neff. Could I get an accident policy for him without having to bother him at all?
How so?
Well, that would make things easier for you, too. You wouldn't even have to talk to him. I have a little allowance of my own. I could pay for it, and he needn't know anything about it.
And why doesn't he need to know?
Because I know he doesn't want accident insurance. He's superstitious about it.
Well, some people are. It's funny that way, isn't it?
If there were a way I could get it like that, all the worries would be over. See what I mean, Walter?
Yeah, I see. I have pretty good vision. You want him to have a policy without him knowing it. And that means without the insurance company knowing that he doesn't know. Is that the setup?
Is there anything wrong with it?
Oh, no, it's lovely. One rainy night, a crown block falls on him.
What crown block?
Oh. As well, it needs a little help. It can't do its job on its own.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Of course, it doesn't even need to be a crown block. It could be a car backing over him or him falling out the second-story window. Just so long as it looks like a morgue job.
Are you crazy?
Not that crazy. Goodbye, Mrs. Dietrichson.
What's the matter?
You can't get away with it.
Get away with what?
You want to knock him off.
That's a horrible thing to say.
Who do you think I was anyways? Someone who just comes into some pretty dame's front parlor? Says, good afternoon, I'm selling some accident insurance on some husbands. Got one that's been around too long? Want to make some cash off one? Just smile and I'll help you collect. Boy, what a dope I must look to you.
I think you're rotten.
I think you're swell. Just so long as I'm not your husband.
Get out of here.
Oh, I will. I'll get out of here quick.